So hello again, everyone. I wanted to make my last video on the topic of Tesla's earnings conference call yesterday, the Q2 2023 conference call. And Elon Musk in that conference call said that he could see Tesla be worth as much as two Saudi Aramcos, or as much as one Saudi Aramco and one Apple combined. And so today, if you look at the stock market, these two companies combined, or two Saudi Aramcos, it's about $5 trillion of today. Now, in the earnings call, Elon didn't say when he thinks that will happen, but my analysis of Elon Musk is that he tends to think in five-year increments, 5-year periods. So I'm going to assume 5 years. For example, when the Tesla semi truck was announced in 2017, it took about 5 years, and it's getting shipped now in December of 2022. So that's about a 5-year time frame. I think it's fair to assume that Elon was thinking 5 years ahead when he said Tesla could be worth 5 trillion someday. One more reason why I think he means 5 years is he did say that Optimus was not part of those estimates. And so it's funny because he said Optimus would obviously start getting produced within 3 to 5 years, as what he had said at the prior AI day. Thus, not excluding Optimus, I think 5 trillion is what he saw Tesla becoming worth in 5 years. And the question is, when Elon thinks about Saudi Aramco and Apple, is he thinking in today's dollars, or is he thinking in dollars of the future? And given that Elon Musk sold Bitcoin, I'm going to say that he was probably thinking in today's dollars, and that he may not be paying attention entirely to the denominator, or maybe he is, but these numbers are so staggering that you can't really blame anybody for not thinking about the denominator. But the denominator is a fundamental macro question to ask in any investment. And so assuming that Tesla does not sell any more shares, or the number of Tesla shares remains the same, Tesla is going to achieve what Elon thinks it's going to achieve. And then, so that's the denominator, right? The performance of Tesla grows the denominator. But the denominator, is the denominator going to stay constant? Well, it would stay constant if the denominator was Bitcoin or some sort of fixed asset. But the denominator is a fast growing liability, right? It's the US dollar. The denominator grows really, 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 really fast. And in fact, if you map US real estate, if you map the S&P 500 to the growth in money supply, you realize that real estate or the S&P 500 really hasn't gone much at all. It really hasn't gone up because its growth, the growth of S&P 500 or the growth of real estate, has really just matched the money supply. So that's why I think it's essential to look at money supply in conjunction with looking at the growth of Tesla and the growth of the denominator. And so it's a very simple calculation, but I'm just putting it for the sake of an example here, is if you've watched my 2 prior videos on the state of the US dollar and how they are still printing at a really, really, really large pace, I recommend that you watch them. I have put them in the description. I think an important point in the US dollar is you may say, oh, well, look at M2. M2 is not growing. The Fed has really slowed down M2. And typically what I would answer to that is, well, wait a minute, there's going to be huge deficits in 2023 that are going to be financed by QE. So the printing of M2 will start again. And then we didn't even begin to address euro dollars, right? Euro dollars are not in M2, and euro dollars have been growing at a much faster pace than M2, and euro dollars ends back in the US economy. So the dollars outside of the US financial system, they should also count. And they've been growing really fast, about 15% a year. So I estimate that between the deficit in 2023 that's going to have to be financed by monetary printing and the growth of the euro dollar market, the typical growth of the dollars outside of the US financial system, I think going forward, the US dollar is going to keep growing at a 15% pace. That's how many more dollars are going to be out there. How many more dollars are going to be printed each year. and that impacts value. So when Elon says he sees Tesla be worth $5 trillion, perhaps in 5 years, well, what does that mean? What is the value of $5 trillion in 5 years? Well, let's add 15% each year, right? 2023, end of 2023, 5.75, not as bad, right? But it compounds. End of 2024, 6.6 trillion. End of 2027, 7.6 trillion, right? And then in 2027, at the end of 2027, 10.05 trillion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. In 5 years, we've doubled the money supply. And so really when Elon meant 5 trillion of today, that's going to be about 10 trillion. The same amount of value is going to be about 10 trillion in 5 years. So in nominal terms, that investment in Tesla is likely to be so much bigger than the investment in real terms. So per my estimate, if Elon's statement yesterday holds true, it will be worth 10 trillion of nominal dollars in 2028 or $5 trillion of today, right? So what we say? Well, we say that the denominator increases equally for all firms too. So what that means is that Apple is likely going to double as well, and Saudi Aramco is likely to double as well. And this is the same for all investments. All investments experience the same external force that the US dollar monetary printing is. So nominally, all investments will grow equally, right? But even if all investments look good in the long term, I just want to take it back to what it means for Tesla. So today, Tesla has a market cap of $700 billion. And in 2028, adjusted for monetary growth, if Elon means 5 trillion of today in the future in 2028, that would actually become $10 trillion. Those 5 trillions of today would be represented by 10 trillion in 2028. So actually, Elon means $10 trillion if we assume the crazy monetary printing that we've had for the past few years and we're going to continue to have. So that would be a 14.28x times nominal return. So you would don't do a 14x on your money, and in real terms, you would do a 7x on your money. So obviously, in any world, that is a tremendous return. But let's not be fooled. All investment returns are exacerbated by the growth in the US dollar and by the growth in the denominator. And so in real terms, they don't grow as much. And perhaps, let me highlight that this is perhaps the most important thing. If money is growing at 15% yearly, and the S&P 500 keeps doing 8%, like it has done for the longest time, and money grows at 15%, then all of a sudden you're losing money. You're losing money in real terms because we're printing much more. And so I hope a lot of index investors will be aware of that. If they're not in the S&P 500, at least move to the NASDAQ so that you can just have a savings account that retains your purchasing power. But it's really, really tough to keep purchasing power when the US dollar is getting printed at 15% a year. It's very, very, very tough to do that. And so there you go. That's the channel. That's the whole rationale for the channel, is this growth in the denominator in relation to the growth of our investments. I would not recommend investing in any company that does not grow at least as fast as dollars are being printed. Because if you don't grow as fast as dollars are being printed, you're drowning, and you're just losing money and losing value, even though you feel good because those nominal returns are showing up on your investment account. You feel good, but it's not the case. So I hope I was able to take this example of Elon to describe the main thesis of my channel. Thank you so much for watching. None of this is investment advice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my video. Thank you to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.